Hello YouTube, I'm the Dark Kid from school, and today I'm just going to disassemble my Cybergun SG 552 just a little bit. I don't think I'll be taking the gearbox apart, but I'm just gonna take some of it apart and yeah, look at what it looks like on the inside. Alright, here is the motor that was in the SIG 552. It's a mid-time motor. I think that's the name of it. It's in between a short and a long time motor. It looks pretty standard, kind of what you'd expect from a cheap gun. It also looks like there's a lot of weird yellow red looking grease on here. Torque and then that feels alright, you know, for a stock motor. You can live with that. Alright, I have now taken the outer barrel and the upper receiver off. And here is the lower receiver with the gearbox, hop-up chamber, and the barrel. Alright, so now I got the gearbox out of the 6552. And it really does look just like a version 3 gearbox. There's a little motor-ish cage just to keep the motor in place. It's the motor's in the hand grip like on an M4 for a version 2 gearbox. But obviously that's not the same. It's raining things from this thing. But from what I can see, the gears are a fairly low quality. Not that I expected high quality gears, but they really look very, very weird. I don't know if you can see them in there. There's some kind of freakish yellow lubrication on here, down here. Yeah. I'm going to take this apart and to see what the parts in there look like. Alright, so I got the gearbox open, and this is the entire cylinder assembly. See, it's an aluminum cylinder. It's a plastic spring guide. It does have a little metal washer on it, so that's a nice little detail. The spring is not very powerful. It's not very long, and it's thin and all that. Yeah, and it seems to be connected to the piston, which is just a standard plastic piston. So it's not much to that. Put that over there. The cylinder head, from what I can see down there, there's a little pad on there down there to relieve some of the impact pressure. So that's kind of cool. Other than that, it's just a cool little cylinder assembly. The gearbox. Here you can see the other half of the gearbox. There's a lot of grease in there that does virtually nothing. And of course there aren't any bushings or bearings. It's a nylon gearbox, so there wouldn't be any reason in putting nylon bushings in a nylon gearbox. The gears go straight into the gearbox shell, which does kind of make sense. And the gears, here's the bevel gear. It's filled with grease, the same yellow grease. I want to point out that there are shims in here, so it's not a complete. I don't know. There are shims, and that's good. Here's the anti-reversal latch. It's kind of cool to have that. Here is the set gear, and here's the spur gear. Alright, I do want to go in my room and see if I can't find a few upgrade parts. I know I may have a piston or something lying somewhere. I definitely want to upgrade the spring just to see if I can get it to pull something a little bit heavier. Alright, so I have picked out some nice little parts I want to put in this gun. First I want to upgrade the cylinder to a brass cylinder, and then I want to put in a new piston and an M90 spring just to give it a little better, a little more velocity. Alright, so now I got the gearbox back in the body. I was unable to install the brass cylinder since the air seal would not have been very good. But I did install a new spring and a new piston, so let's just listen to it. Hang on a second, I need to make sure the chamber is empty first. Alright, sounds fairly good. Hopefully this time it will be able to penetrate the cardboard box I have set up outside, but let's go find out. Alright, so I've just been outside shooting a little more, and it seems to have the same amount of power pretty much, but now I know what the internals look like, and I know it has an upgraded piston and spring compared to what it had before. Thanks for watching.